I came out to get some potatoes today. I've picked a few from here. But the plants on this portion and another portion over there, they're my Norland and my Irish cobbler. So they're an 80 to 90 day potato. So I think the plants are done anyway. They don't look good. Potatoes are popping out of the ground. There's been a lot of erosion from the wind and no rain. We've had so little rain on these plants that those that I have pulled were less than desirable. They were smaller, not what I would have expected at this point, but it is what it is. Hot, dry summer. Some plants love it, some plants not so much. So I'm going to get out the portion that are these. The rest that are still looking much more green are my russet, Burbank russet. They will remain here. But I'll get started. It's not supposed to rain today, so I can throw them on the grass to get some of the dirt off a bit to dry and take them in. So here's a close-up of those that I'm tackling today. Here, and you can see the holes where I've already pulled some plants. And over there, where I'm not touching, but yet far over here, I'll get those ones also. Well, that's a good size. But boy, no moisture here at all. It's just powder. I'm going to throw these all over here. Doesn't look so bad when I say that's from 2 plants. Oh, I'm into some Irish cobbler now. Let's see if they've done any better. Now, Irish cobbler are susceptible to scab. They don't look bad. Oh, a little bit. And I'm aware of that, but nothing beats the flavor of an Irish cobbler. They are so unique. They're just brilliant tasting. So much better. So I'll put up with a little scab. I'll get on with these and show you what comes of it. I'm glad I'm getting these out because I'm finding on the Norlands anyways wireworms. So it's creeping me out. So I'm glad to get them out. I'll show you one when I catch one here. There's one. Nasty wee thing. There's my russet Burbank. They'll stay. So from here, this area, there's my potatoes and the plants I've pulled, and my sweatshirt because it's warming up. Again, I'm happy with anything I get, and they're, you know, many are a very good size. Ooh. I've got my runner beans. So, yeah, these ones are definitely coming out of the soil and eroding, I noticed. So I'll get those out. Now, potatoes are one plant that I don't put into my compost bin. just for fear of spreading disease, blight, anything that just doesn't die in your compost. So I'm able to just toss them over my cliff. I wanted to show this. Growing out of the ground, not in the ground, the stem portion above ground was sprouting those little potatoes. And those potatoes are sprouting. I've never seen that before, and it was only this one plant doing its own little thing. Very strange. Anybody know why it's doing that? Okay, that's from this portion, leaving the russet Burbank, and that's from that portion. I'll gather them all together. So I'm just dusting these off. I went in, had a coffee, and they're drying up a bit. But I will further dry them in my house. I'll lay them all out and let them dry up nice and firm. And these store very well for me. I can eat them as an early, but they also store great. Now, the wireworm, being aware of it, there was far less wireworm, by the way, on the second batch, though I did see a couple. Oh, there's a big one that's split, and that is because we had the tail end of the hurricane come and a lot of rain, finally, so they split. That was the only rain. But the wireworm, I'll put a, what do they call it, like a non-host crop in there, and I think onions, lettuce, things that wireworm don't like. I never plant potatoes in the same spot twice anyway, so I'll find it, I don't know, maybe down in my beds next year, and move my onions up here, because I do grow a lot of onions too. Woo. I'm actually very pleased with the amount here, and these are heavy, so my son's going to help me carry them in. At this point, I will just take them inside, keep them out of any daylight, any sunlight, to harden off for, I don't know, 2 weeks maybe. And I will not wash these. Do not wash any potatoes that you want for long-term storage. Just leave them as is. I've just dusted them off. They're heavy, aren't they?
Yeah.
Thank you, son.
Yep.
So I've also been harvesting the past few days, popping in and out. So I've got some clips. I've gathered some kale for processing. Broccoli just will not stop. It was the first crop due to my winter sowing for me to harvest, and it just keeps on going. I've blanched and frozen the kale, and I've gathered seeds. I've got seeds from my Asian greens, the red mustards, arugula, red kale, red Russian kale, and I'll just leave those. There's a nice little job over the winter to leave them in the paper bags, and I'll sort them out later. I can always use carrots, so I'm just after ones that are starting to pop out of the ground today. Oh, he's a little cutie. Nance. Another nice one. I'm still doing little harvests for my broad beans. I have a new flush of succession plant of sugar snap peas. Just got some yarrow for some tea. I think I'm roasting some vegetables, so I'll just take a beet up to roast. Harvested some basil from outside and harvested from my indoor basil. Always does better for me indoors than outside for some reason. And I started a new fresh pot of basil for indoors, but was very happy to enjoy some delicious pesto. And then last night I did some harvesting from my indoor plants. So I did pick a lot more beans, and I have done spicy pickled beans, and I've pickled my jalapenos. So I'll try to figure out where I'm going to spread these potatoes out in the house. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.